Hello, dear students. I'm Loveleen. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the theme of the story, the storyteller. It is based on the theme of morality, conflict, control, pride, and humility. Taken from Saki's The Complete Short Stories collection, the storyteller is a frame narrative, and after reading the story, the reader realizes that this story may be exploring the theme of morality. Unlike the aunt's story, which has a happy, if not unrealistic ending, the bachelor's story highlights the realities of life. Though Bertha was a good girl, she has paid for that goodness with her life, which may be the point that Saki is attempting to make. He could be suggesting that in real life, things do not always go favorably for somebody just because they may have lived a good life, which is very much the case for Bertha. It is also ironic that the reward she received for being good, the three medals, are in fact that cause of her being found by the wolf, with the wolf hearing them clinking in the garden. The fact that Bertha was also rewarded with the trip to the garden for being good is also ironic, as should she not have been good, she would have never encountered the wolf. In reality, Saki may be highlighting that just because an individual may be good in life or contribute to life in a positive manner does not necessarily mean they will live a prosperous or rewarding life. Bertha, after all, was a young girl who, despite being good, does not attain longevity in life. She dies young despite being so good. There is also a sense that both the aunt and the bachelor are in conflict with one another. Not so much as to tell the best story, but the bachelor feels as though the aunt is unable to control the three children. If anything, it is the children who are controlling the aunt. Something that the bachelor may be aware of, and as such tells the story about Bertha in order to not only amuse the children but to regain control over them, which he successfully manages to do, much to the aunt's annoyance. It is as though she knows she has been beaten by the bachelor, however, she does not want to admit it. Hence, her considering the story to be morally corrupt. Rather than being frightened by the story, the children like it. This may be important as it is possible that the children consider the bachelor's story to be more realistic than the aunt's story. If anything, Saki lifts the lid on society and reminds the reader that bad things can happen to good people, something which is very true when it comes to Bertha. It is not as though Saki is suggesting that as an individual shouldn't be good. Instead, he might be highlighting the realities of life. Living a good life does not necessarily mean that an individual will live their life without any negative consequences. The reality being that there is only so much of an individual's life that can be controlled. Outside influences will always interfere with an individual's development. Something the reader understands by the introduction of the wolf story into the story. Though Bertha did nothing wrong, she still nonetheless dies. There is also a sense that Bertha is afraid to live her life, the flowers in the garden being an example. It would only be natural for a child to want to pick flowers from a garden. Yet Bertha promises her aunt that she won't pick any. It is as though Bertha's existence is being stifled by rules. She may not necessarily be living a full life despite being good. It may also be case that Bertha is chasing reward. Should she be good, she knows that she will get a medal, which would place her above the other children who do not have as many medals. It is also possible that Saki is exploring the theme of pride. Bertha is proud of her medals. However, as mentioned, the medals are the very thing which results in the wolf catching Bertha. It is possible that Saki is suggesting that pride comes up with a fall. Something that is clear to the reader by the fact that Bertha is killed by the wolf. Should she not have had the medals or have been as proud of herself, she would still be alive. If anything, Bertha may not have had any humility in her life. Placing herself or allowing others to place her on a pedestal. Very much like how the aunt places the girl in her story on a pedestal. It is also noticeable that the aunt wants to protect the children, while the bachelor wishes to highlight to the children what the world is really like. Though some critics might suggest that children should be kept in the dark about the negativities of life for as long as possible. This may not necessarily be something that is good for children. Saki most likely suggests that children should be aware of the world around them. In reality, children shouldn't be hidden from the real world. Thank you.